for anyone who hasn't watched Mean Girls, there's this scene in the movie where there's a really random lady that shows up to the school and she's crying and no one knows why she's there. There's no context, there's no explanation for this person. And that's how I felt through most of this training. During our application, we were asked what our goals for the training are, why we're doing the training. And I don't entirely remember what I said, but I definitely made it up. Sorry. It was all made up. I just said something like, I want to learn I want to find myself. I don't know what I said, but I said something. And I was glad to hear from some of the talks yesterday that I actually shared quite a bit with other people. I really would have never guessed. And the truth is, this training, it's just another thing in a very long line of side quests I've taken on. And all I knew about yoga was it felt good whenever I was sore. Sometimes I would feel high after the class, but I didn't know much else. I went into it completely blind. And it was here, with many other people, I had a class that felt particularly good, and my hamstrings were really opened up. So the obvious logical next step was to sign up for a 200-hour training. And people in my life, my friends, all know that I've never really talked about yoga. No one knew why I was doing it. And that includes myself, but that was fine. I'm used to doing things I don't understand all the time. And then the first week came along and we were split into these groups and asked the same thing, what are your goals for this training? Why are you here? And everyone gave such profound answers. Everyone was either here to advance a 5-year training or start their yogic career, or because of some trauma they wanted to fix or something. But it was all such deep answers. And then there was me that I don't even know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing here. I just thought I'd learn some cool poses and use them as party tricks. So I felt so fake. I was like, everyone here has such a deep, they mean it. They're here because they mean it. And I'm just I didn't think it through. I just signed up. I really don't know why I'm here. And, I had done a meditation teacher training here, and I felt a lot more connected to it because I was already kind of meditating before. So, and I had a reason. I had more depth with why I was doing it. And that just didn't feel the same for yoga. So I started to get this deep sense that I'm a huge imposter. I'm not as good or as devoted as everyone else here. Everyone has a reason except me. So not only did I feel like an imposter, I also felt really, really stupid. Everyone knew things that I felt were basic. And I felt like I was the only one that was just lost and confused. I remember Rachel looking my direction, week 2 during asana. And she was engage the bandhas. And I just looked straight ahead. I avoided eye contact because I don't know what she's talking about. I had no clue. I was taking, I don't know if Nicole is here, but I was taking Nicole to like these obscure corners in the room and being like what is what's bandas? Like, how do I engage them? Like, do I talk to them? And I feel like I did that with some of you too. I was just like I was so blind to anything about yoga. I really considered not even bringing this up because it was so stupid. But I didn't know what the word asana even meant. Like, just like basic things that I looked around, everyone was like, yes, like asana. Like, and I was like, I don't know. So like half the time during class, I was like Googling. So, it was crazy. And there was a point where I considered like, okay, should I even proceed with this training? I think it was like week 2, and I was like, I don't know if this is my thing. I don't know if I belong here. I wasn't expecting all these emotional things to happen. Like, but I didn't. I kept showing up because I already paid the deposit, so it wasn't anyway. So I saw it through, and I did all the work we were told to do. I did the postures. I even did the mental work, but I was so frustrated because I didn't understand any of it. I think for a lot of it, I understood it logically and intellectualized it, but I didn't connect. I didn't really understand. But I did it. And I was just aggressively confused the whole time. And then things started to happen that I couldn't explain. I felt so strange and unfamiliar emotionally. My body felt foreign, mostly good, but still new feelings that I had never experienced before. And I was so up and down internally, and I was happy that it was like a shared experience in the class. Everyone is like, why do I feel crazy? Like I'm just working out. And again, like the answers were things I didn't understand because like, why do I feel crazy? And they're like, oh, it's like the wind in your body. And I was just like, okay, yeah. That like makes sense. And then something shifted, and I can't really pinpoint when it happened. And I hate that I can't even understand at what point the shift happened. But one day I just got it. I just understood it. And it wasn't even like an aha moment. It was so sneaky. I was just like, I got it in a way that felt like I always understood. And in Tibetan Buddhism, there's a practice where you take a form of a teacher or a guide or someone you admire, and you literally pretend to be them. Not because you're already enlightened, but because you're practicing becoming that. So you're summoning your future self to the present. You're summoning the essence of who you want to be, your teacher, your guide, God. So it's a little bit spiritual identity theft or something. But it's sacred. It's sacred and it works. And the word yoga means union with the divine. So again, it's things I understood logically, and I was doing the practice, doing it. I kept putting on this mask that I understood, and I think that's what, but like it worked. Like the masks I was putting on, I just pretended. I put on the mask, I put on the mask, and then just like before I knew it, the mask was just my face. And I just knew. And I didn't feel as dumb and out of place anymore. If the word yoga means union, maybe that means uniting all the different versions of ourselves that we don't think belong or exist. It's a rehearsal for integrity until holding shapes until they feel like home. So suddenly yoga, it wasn't just me being a weirdo trying out yoga, it became a sacred act of rehearsal. And even the teacher thing where you practice being the teacher, that's something I understood intellectually until I understand it now intrinsically. Like I just kind of know, and I did it, it worked. Like I have proof, like believe me. And then I felt really safe because you're all so amazing. And the more I spoke to people, like week 8, the more I spoke to people, the more I was like, oh, like, you guys are also imposters. Like, I was just ashamed about it. Like, but we were all practicing becoming. Like, we weren't pretending. We were preheating. Like, we just like, you're getting there. So it's not about starting enlightened or like starting, like, that's the whole point. And I missed the whole point for so long, and I'm just happy I arrived. So, this is really stupid.